Everyone, how are we all? Happy Monday. Thank you to everyone that liked and subscribed, all the new people, all the new likes and subscribers, thank you very much. Shout out to my man Loz D for all the support from the beginning, brother. Thank you very much. Right, on Monday, I usually do a roundup of everything. I was away all day Sunday, didn't get back till late last night. So, the fight this weekend was Devin Haney against Regis Prograis. I've watched it twice now. And I tell you what this reminded me of. This reminded me of the Crawford-Spence fight in the just brilliance that Crawford showed in that because of the level of the opposition he was doing it against. This is very much the same. And this was as one-sided and as complete by Devin Haney as that was by Terence Crawford. I get a lot of shit in the comments when I get stuff wrong. I even got... I'm not doing that. Anyway, so I'm going to sort of bask in my preview where I said that I believed the move up in weight would only be of benefit to Haney. And it was. He looked bigger, he looked stronger, he looked bigger than Regis, like noticeably bigger than Regis. Like he even looked big at this weight. So yeah, I got that right. And I also said because of Haney's age, I still believed the yet was best to come. He was still improving as a fighter, whereas Regis is very much at his peak or even just past his peak. But my point was that we would possibly see a better Haney, and I believe we did. I believe I was correct. I think that was Haney's. That was almost up to this point. That was a career-defining performance, one of subtle brilliance. So yeah, I mean, the majority viewpoint going into this was a Haney points victory. And in my preview, I did say everything apart from punch power, although that looked incorrect, but we tended to go with the punch power with Regis. And for me, all the other attributes went with Haney. But I believed Haney was better in every area, but not clearly better in every area, only just. But on this, he was in a different class, a different league. We all thought Haney was a great fighter or a very, very good fighter going into this fight. He has now announced himself as an elite level fighter, and he's right in the pound for pound mix, isn't he? He looks absolutely to have everything. There's so much subtle brilliance about what he does. I tell you what, he does well. He used the counter uppercut to the body really well. We saw Jordan Gill do that last week or the week before. It's an underused and underrated shot, really effective coming from a counter punching style. So yeah, really good. He had Regis from the start, and he did this thing where now a lot of people thought he'd be on the bike, and there were elements where he appeared like that was what he was doing, but he was never running. It was always just superior quick footwork. But he also his variation of footwork is another part of his technical genius. A lot of the times that got Regis into trouble where Haney would take small steps backwards, almost keeping his feet still planted at the same time. Rather than being fleet-footed and moving on his toes, he would edge back just inch by inch with feet planted. And this would kind of draw Regis to throw lead combinations where at the point where Regis would let his shots go, Haney would just step edging backwards. His feet were already planted and he would answer back. And because he's got a longer range, as Regis stepped in with him, he would then stop nudging and he would be in range and throw counter-punching bombs that noticeably had effect on Regis. It's those subtle technical brilliances that separate the elite from the rest. And Haney just looked elite for me in that. It's just, the thing is as we look at sort of technical boxers who we tend to describe as not having power, it can be the difference between the styles, which just, and you know this, if you're up on your toes and you're a sort of a backward going pure boxer, you're not set a lot of the time with your feet. You can't sit down on your punches whilst you're up on your toes, moving and changing angles and changing directions and giving new looks. But as with Tyson Fury, he sort of changed from pure boxer. He went to Sugar Hill and they sort of turned him into a Kronk, sort of walk forward, sit down on your punches aggressor. and we saw him starting to hurt and sort of drop people. And I don't even think if we're rating heavyweight punchers, Tyson Fury is not a puncher at heavyweight for me. He punches hard because he's a heavy man. But if you're rating him alongside heavyweight punchers, he's not a heavy puncher. But the difference is in the style. And I think with a move up in weight, I think when Haney is facing someone where he can safely set his feet a bit more. I mean, at times he was punching with Regis, and I never expected him to sort of trade with Regis at all. But he elected to punch with Regis because of the cleverness of his footwork, and he was safe in doing so. So, I mean, this will be a case a bit like with the Crawford fight, where I'm sure I'll watch this a couple more times, and I'll notice new subtle brilliances. I mean, there were times, and almost in a way, I didn't like to see it because Regis is such a top bloke. He's such a stand-up guy. And there was a few areas near the end where he embarrassed Regis and made Regis look silly. And he hurt him on a couple of other times. And I never saw that coming. And it just, again, it's another sort of description of like how good Haney is and how good he can be. I mean, I heard a few people saying maybe Regis is on the slide. Maybe he's not as good as he was. I just think Haney was that much better and that good. It doesn't matter when in Regis' career, I think this would have happened. I think the outcome would have been the same. I tell you what, it was a really great touch at the end of the fight when the bell went. Regis immediately embraced Haney in a sort of embrace of respect and almost admiration and acknowledgement at how good Haney's performance was and how good Haney was. Real touch of class by Regis. He's a class guy anyway. I'd have to post on the sort of the community bit on the, because just before the press conference, and I think it was Friday night, they had an interview with Regis. Regis is one of the realest guys out there, and it's hard not to be a fan of the guy. He's a top bloke. So, yeah, in summary, a masterclass, a complete shutout, and against a legit guy. Devin Haney, he's a star. He's a star now and a bigger star in the future. Future fights, who have you got? Ryan Garcia. I mean, for me, on Ryan Garcia's last performance, on Haney's last performance, a comfortable win for Haney. I mean, if we're talking about Haney's technical brilliance, Garcia is a fantastic offensive puncher, but again, he's not the most scientific. I just think Haney is levels above him. And then Tank Davis, I mean, that's a super fight, isn't it? That would be, one of the super fights. But yeah, in summary, Devin Haney has emerged as a superstar and a true elite. And for me, probably the best performance. The three great, probably performance of the year. One of the performances of the year on the global level. Superb. So anyway, let me know what you think. I'll be back with a roundup on a few more of the things. I didn't get a chance to see the card last night, so I'll probably do a video tomorrow to get into more of the other stuff. I want to discuss the move of PBC to Amazon as well. We'll have a little look at that. So all that to come, but I had to address that. So anyway, nice one. Cheers, fellas. See you soon.